And just like that, we are back with chapter 74 of the universe according to Mugsy. Today is Wednesday, June 25th, 2025. I am Mugsy the Creator, and we are talking current events, culture, and consciousness, as we always do on this program, aligning the past and the future into this present moment, the now, so that you may be able to access all of the information you need accessible to you in the ether, the electricity, which brings you all of the energy needed through the chemical compounds you have access to, and utilizing the technology, which you are a tuning device for you to be able to tune into whatever it is you need to get through this moment right now. That's what the age of information is. So it is always interesting to me when in my current events, the things that I'm seeing are people telling me that I have no idea how the world works, not taking the advice that I have to give them even when they are asking me for it, whether they know it or not. It's so funny because I am the same person they run to whenever they have a problem, the same flexible person that's able to turn on a dime and seemingly cool-headedly resolve whatever issues are going on. I know that because I love my job. I love all of the people at the Village Tavern. It is a pleasure for me to be able to go in there every day and work side by side with them. They are psychopaths, just as I am a psychopath. We are all on our own individual routes that we are all following in our lives. And we come together for a brief moment to interact together and perform for an audience, which is our customers, as trained observers, trained servers that see all of the people that come into our restaurant, tourists from across the country, and we should be able to tap into the current events of everything that's going on in the world. You should be able to read and access all of that information. If you're not able to do that, you need to tap into the same shit that I am on, the same shit that I'm explaining to you in real time, all the time, whether I know it or not. It's so funny the way the world works because the other day I had so many opportunities. The universe conspired just for me to give me a story here for this program that helps highlight the polarity of everything that's been going on in the world and how a nuclear explosion can really take place right in front of you, in front of your very eyes. And I promise you, you won't be able to take your eyes off it or do anything about it. Oh, that's not exactly how the day started, because after a tough week on the patio, for you people that don't understand what it's like working in a restaurant, your proximity to the kitchen or the bar is very important for your day and how it's going to go. So when we work in a location which has an extended outside patio that is, 750 steps away from a kitchen, a bar, or anything else that you may need on that patio, sometimes it gets tough in that heat. So after a few days, I read on my schedule how lucky the universe has conspired to put me right outside the kitchen on this Saturday, a hot Saturday that I know the patio is going to be bumping. But I need a day off just to rest, just to have an easy day. And the universe put me there. So I'm so excited. But I got to be available. I have to be ready to do whatever it is my friends need me to do. And that morning, my friends needed everything from me. They needed all of my energy that morning, which was crazy. Because the first words that I heard when I got into that building, not a hello, hey, how are you? Oh, it's so nice to see you. Have you punched in yet? No. I hear Mugsy. Mugsy, will you go on the patio for me today? Will you switch? Come on, it's so hot out. I know you want to do it. Even though my entire day was aligned in this direction, this flow that I thought my day was going to go in, I know the universe is conspiring for me, so I don't forget it. Of course, Mary. Mary, my fucking friend, it's so nice to see you. You want to be outside the kitchen? Sure, you do it. I would love the opportunity, I guess, to get a little bit stronger in this heat, the things that I need. Maybe the customers outside in the patio are going to give me a story that I need to tell my fucking friends on the podcast. So that's what I kept thinking about all day long, and sure than shit, eventually it came, but not right away. Not right away. First, I had to jump through a few hoops because the next thing I know, now that I'm out on the patio, I got to set up the patio. But my friend Lily comes running in. You'll never believe it. Oh my God, it's so gross. It's disgusting. Ew, ew, ew. Somebody peed on the soda machine that we keep outside. Well, not really the soda machine. This metal box that we keep next to it. Is there anything in the metal box or on the metal box right now? No, not just a little bit of urine. But there's nobody here right now. Lily's looking for a manager that's not here. Manager hasn't showed up, and every single person in the restaurant made sure to tell me it's not in my job description. It's not XYZ. I don't get paid enough. I'm not out there. It's really a manager's job. So what are we left to do? Are we going to open the restaurant that's going to open in about 10 minutes? Is someone going to clean this piss up? Or are we not going to open the restaurant because there's a little urine on some metal box? So next thing I know, I have to clean up that urine. But then my friend Kaylee's over here and she's like, Mac, can you get the ice? I thought that I was cleaning up the urine. I can't do everything for everyone in every moment. Everyone cannot have a crisis in every second. That's why we have so many handicap spots. Otherwise, nothing's going to get done, guys, okay? How about I clean up the urine, you grab a little ice, and we see when a manager gets here whether we're going to open the safe or we're going to run everything on credit cards, okay, guys? I didn't realize that no one else is able to pivot off anything at all going wrong in their lives. Why is that? It's because everyone is in a constant state of crisis. Because nobody is paying attention to the chemistry. They're not taking a second to breathe, and they're not laughing at themselves, because when Lily came running into that goddamn kitchen screaming about the gross stuff, I was hoping it wasn't puke. And it wasn't going to be puke that I had to clean up, because guess what? I was going to have to clean it up, and I didn't puke in my whole life on a whole bunch of shit and make other people clean it up. But I did piss on a lot of things. Oh my God, I remember one specific party they wouldn't let us into at Bentley University. They should have paid attention when they closed the door, because I don't know if they even noticed the urine smell outside as they were leaving that party that we weren't allowed into. But I have peed on enough things in my life that I will take one for the team, and the universe knows this, so I will clean up that piss. Surely, you didn't need to lose your entire mind about it, because believe me, I know when this is an opportunity for me to make good on maybe a past discretion that I may have made. So, all of these things happening, we were able to get through the morning. We were able to open the restaurant and have a beautiful day. It was a gorgeous day on that patio. It actually wasn't hot at all. And I'm so thankful because of the explosion that I got to see. Not exactly anything that I've ever seen before. 2 instances here. And this is how I know things are getting weird in the world. This was before the United States of America launched its nuclear attack on Iran, which I'm sure you thought I wasn't going to cover in the current events section of this podcast, as I am discussing things happening inside of a restaurant. But that's not how the universe works, okay, guys? I don't know how many times I have to explain. When you guys do something on the other side of the world, it has an equal and opposite reaction on this side of the world. Some crazy things are going to happen. It may not be the exact way that it happened over there, but you can be sure that the particles in the universe is going to balance out, because that's what the universe does. It's always in a constant state of balance. So there was going to be some crazy things that happened here. We've talked about my experience in restaurants almost, I would say, extensively, more extensively than I thought we were going to do on a podcast where we predict the future and deconstruct reality for you to have an easier time navigating the construction in your own life, to make the best decisions for you, to be able to align your heart-mind coherence and follow your intuition, to be able to pick up the wisdom that you need to help you on your journey. I didn't know that we were going to have to come back to the restaurant and revisit it so many times. But I'm glad we do, because it's something that most people have access to. Most people have been out to restaurants in their life. They know what is normal. They know that on the fringe, sometimes things can get weird. Maybe you're in a certain part of town, or you're at a certain type of dive bar where things can get a little hectic. Oh no, there's people doing drugs in the bathroom. These are all expected things. Oh no, someone threw up over here. Oh, okay, that's unexpected. Oh no, there's a fight. Those are things. Oh, the chef burnt my food. There's a fire in the kitchen. These are all things that are on the fringe of the experience that you may or may not have. As someone who's worked inside restaurants since the age of 14, I am currently 35 years old. That's 21 years in and out of the restaurant industry. Different restaurants all around the country, all around the world, different regions, different jobs inside of the restaurant. There are things that I've seen. I've seen people eat off plates, okay? I've seen customers eat off plates, their own plates. I've seen waiters in the back on their way to the kitchen eat off their customers' plates. That's something that is frowned upon. Even the dish kids in the back, when they see that, they're like, ew, that guy's gross. There's plenty of food around here. In fact, we'll give you a discount. If you're really that hungry, you can probably get some for free. Please stop eating off your fucking customers' plates. That's gross. All right? That's gross. So everyone recognizes that there are some things that are acceptable. There are some things that you've seen before, even if they're frowned upon, but it's rare for me to have some things that I've never seen. And I had 2 of these experiences. I had a customer send back some potato skins. These potato skins, they said were the most disgusting potato skins they've ever had in their life. I was flabbergasted by this because I've served these very same potato skins to, I don't know, hundreds, maybe thousands of tables at this stage of my career at the Village Tavern. And never once has anybody been so disgusted by them. Now, I happily take these away. I offer to take them off their bill, even though I don't know if the manager is exactly going to do that. But these people are so polite. They're like, honest, don't worry about it. We took a risk. We didn't like them. Not a big deal. There's something going on with your cheese. I don't know. Tell the chef. Sure. I presume that their discussion about the potato skins, the 3 or 4 people at this table, I honestly don't even remember now. I expect that they didn't just politely not touch the potato skins because everyone took a small bite of one, tried it, and everyone collectively, silently agreed that these potato skins are no good, and they left them on the table until I got there when they politely said to me, could you please get rid of these? We don't like them. What I'm assuming happened at that table was there was some discussion. They were having a couple of drinks, and they were like, can you believe how crappy these potato skins are? What is it? Is it the cheese? Was it a bad potato? Did they fry them for too long? My guess is there was a lot of discussion going on at the table about the potato skins, which is why the thing that followed next, which was the direct table next to them, was what threw me for a loop. The kid that was sitting there, an individual who I don't know what sex or gender this person was trying to portray or give off, or maybe not one. They were playing a game with their friend, and they called me over. They're in the middle of eating their meal. They said, this is going to be weird. Can you come here? So I leaned in a little bit closer. Yeah. What can I do for you? That potato skin. May I have it? Now. Customers eating off customers' plates, waiters eating off customers' plates, dish kids eating off customers' plates. Never another table requesting to eat the potatoes. So I didn't know what to say, so I just ever so gently held out the potato skins that the table next to them must have been complaining about for goddamn 20 minutes. And they took it right off, and they took a bite, and I was out of there. I was so far gone. I was so far away from that table. I asked everyone in the restaurant, have they ever seen anything like that? No, they had not seen anything like it. And that wasn't even the worst of it. That wasn't even the worst of it that day. Because this beautiful day on the patio, such a gorgeous afternoon, I am having a discussion with a couple of gentle gay souls that are in their late 60s, gotta be early, maybe mid 70s. These people have been gay so long that Elton John had the symbol of the right earring, and they're still rocking it to this day. That's how you know they've been gay long enough that they've been fighting for it, and they are proud. They're a beautiful couple. They're so polite. We're having a charming conversation about Salem, as they are somewhat from the area. They come downtown from time to time. They stop in. They know the bar manager, so this is a place that they frequent even without my knowledge. We're having such a charming discussion. And then the table next to them, also my table, 2 adults in their mid-40s with 2 small children. One looks to be about 5, the other 2 to 3. These are very poorly behaved children. I know because I'm a trained observer. That's what I do inside that restaurant all day, serving people, getting stuff for them. I'm watching them. I'm trying to predict what they're going to want next. I'm trying to make sure I have everything they could possibly want. I'm trying to predict all timelines by just watching them. Trained to observe their very being, their state of nature, and predict what this old lady could want. Is this a lemon and sugar in her tea kind of old lady? Is she going to ask if I have cappuccino? Does she think that if she comes to a tavern that we're going to have cappuccino? Oh, my God. So, I have seen children, well and poorly behaved, on this patio for years and decades. At this stage of the game, I thought I'd seen it all. These 2 children at this stage are not being too poorly behaved, but they are crying. And they are crying and screaming at the top of their lungs. Like, I don't know, they just got out of a doctor's appointment and he cut something off of them that he wasn't supposed to cut off. And in the middle of our conversation, one of the gentlemen just gets up. Not even. He's sitting there and he's staring. And he just goes, "Enough! Shut that kid up! My God, do something!" And then his gay little husband there is like, "Okay, Charles, okay, thank you. Thank you for doing that, but we're going to take it down. Your heart, Charles, remember your heart rate. We're trying to work on that heart rate." And 25 tables on my patio at the Village Tavern in the middle of downtown Salem. We have crazy people on the street playing music. We got people doing karaoke. All of it's silent. And that kid shut the fuck up. That kid recognized a real fucking man when he heard one. It was crazy. I don't even know how we got out of that moment, truly. I do not know what I said. I don't know. I know that the conversation continued, and then I got up and walked away, and then they got up and left, so their bill must have been paid. And then I come back out to the family. That was like the recipient of all of this crazy negative energy that was just shot at this family who the parents were at the time just like, "Are you kidding, man? Can you not see what I'm dealing with? Can you not look? I get it. I get the kids are crazy, but I am just so exhausted. I'm so exhausted from trying to parent these and pattern these children. You have no idea how hard it is to be burdened with the heterosexuality that comes with this sex. That as a result, we have these children that if we want the species to continue, we must continue to follow this natural being. And I'm trying so hard. Can you please just give me a little grace, man? Just a little bit of grace in this moment." And I go back out to them. And I'm just like, I am so sorry. I am so sorry for what just transpired. I have never in my entire 21 years seen anything like that. I've never seen this patio completely silent. I've never seen that guy playing the saxophone stop playing even for a minute, no matter how bad he is or how hot out it is. I believe he's on methamphetamine, and that is what drives him to do that. But that was so rude, and I apologize for their outburst, and they were so polite, this North Carolina couple. They were so cute, and they're like, it was crazy. We've never had anything like that, but oh man, I had to take everything in me to just be calm, and I appreciated that because the last thing I wanted on that patio was to break up a fight between 2 parents and 2 gay men in their 70s after a couple of Cosmos. It was so crazy. It was so crazy. And the kids now are a little bit more calmed down, enough that we're having a casual conversation. Is there anything I can get you guys? More water, more anything? I'm so sorry for that, da-da-da-da-da. And it's not your fault. You actually handled it great. Thank you, because I don't even know what good looks like in that situation, having never experienced it before. And then the patio clears out more or less. But we have a couple of other tables, and these parents are truly exhausted. I am refueling them with water. They're having a couple of beers. They're not looking to get schmammered, all right? They're just looking to try and wind down a little bit to regain some of the energy that they need to continue on whatever fucking vacation they are having in Salem, Massachusetts. I know it's not the one that they envisioned in their mind. They have iPads up for the kids, and normally this would help soothe a child. But these children are worse than any children I have ever encountered. They may have been a spirit that has come in and taken control of their body, because I've never seen children act like this. This kid is underneath other customers' tables, and to some degree, I am now allowing this to happen because I just want these people to be able to relax a little bit after this outburst. But now we're reaching a different level, and she's now, at least she's trying to, the mom is trying to rein in the child by screaming at him on the patio as he is picking up sticks and leaves and brushing them across other people's feet, sweeping the patio underneath other people's tables, taking other salt shakers and going for submarine dives in dog bowls of water that we have left out on the patio for any of the dogs. And if this wasn't enough, he decided, after knocking over some of the water, he was going to refill the bowl himself. So he proceeded to take his penis out and refill the dog bowl right there on the patio in broad daylight. Well, I got other customers going around, and is this the moment that mom decides to be like, no, Kevin, get up. Nope, she's not even seeing this one. She's not even seeing, she's leaving this one up to the other people on the patio who she, I guess, wants to parent her children, but not also parent her children. At this stage of the game, it is so crazy. I am just trying to get them to pay the bill. But then I go over to start clearing this table, which is a complete and total bomb has gone off. And I take the mac and cheese and the French fries, and I put them all together so that they're one on top of another, because the parents have said, yeah, they're not touching any of this. Please get it the hell out of here. And then he stops taking a piss in my fountain over there, and the kid comes running. Don't touch it, don't touch it. And now the parents are like, don't touch it, put everything down. I'm like, is there a bomb that's going to explode? What is going on? All right, can I get Elton John, get the fuck back out here. I need you to quiet this patio down, because everyone in that situation is right. And everyone in that situation was wrong. Everyone in this reality feels completely emboldened to be everything that they feel that they are, to the nth degree, to the power of themselves. It is nuts. Because the gay guy was right. He was right. This kid was apparently the kid must have been being way more nuts as I was going back and forth to my tables and not paying attention. It's ruining these guys' day. But listen, motherfucker, you're on a patio in Salem, Massachusetts at the Village Tavern. We got dogs. We got kids running around. If you want a quiet cocktail, there are many, many places that will cater to your needs. So you're in the wrong by flipping out. But at the same time, this is the worst behaved children I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've been doing this shit for a long time, inside and outside restaurants. I've never seen kids this fucking poorly behaved. Usually, that fucking pacifier will be the iPad that'll shut everything up. All right, but that just wasn't how things were going. We needed someone to come into the room and change the energy and instill some discipline. And it's funny that the discipline had to come from the guy who has the most estrogen in his personal relationship. But talk about a nuclear explosion. And I do feel for these parents who I just kept saying, honestly, I hope to be in your shoes one day. That's what I'm praying for. I'm praying that someday I'm lucky enough to have a couple of kids running around and I get to have some of the experience and understand just a smidge of what it's like for you guys trying to wrangle these children into adults at some point in their growth span. But there's limits to it, right? Now, everyone's just emboldened to be like, no, I'm giving my kid an iPad. This is how we're going to soothe him. This is going to be his entertainment. This is going to be his schooling. We're not going to go outside, and we're not going to go outside so much that we don't know how other people behave. We don't know what normal is, Not that there is any type of normal, but we don't know what we would like our child to be like in front of other people because we're not spending enough time trying to do it. Maybe that's exactly what they were exploring on this vacation. Who the hell am I to judge? But what I'm saying is we're in a crazy place where people feel comfortable enough to have these outbursts publicly, have these freak out fits. All right? Because it wasn't just the kid. It was also the grown man exploding like a child in that moment. Because nobody is in control of their emotions. Nobody's paying attention to the chemistry. We're not teaching our children to take a second to breathe, and that the emotions are just the information coming through that will guide us, and then we can remember to laugh at ourselves. We can remember that we know nothing. All right, it is a pretty crazy experience. We don't know anything about what's going on. Maybe there is some crazy things going on in that child, and he needs to stop having sugar, or he has a brain tumor. I mean, I hope that's not it, but like, you don't know. You just don't know about anyone else or what's going on. And when you can graduate to a level where you have empathy for other human beings, and you bring that level of empathy and compassion everywhere you go, it provides you the ability to be able to be flexible and go with the energy and perhaps get out of the way of an explosion that's right about to happen. And maybe it's your job to pick up the pieces after the bomb's gone off. It also gives you the ability to be flexible. Be flexible enough to have faith that the universe is conspiring for you, all right? Because I never would have gotten to witness and participate in both of those exchanges that were going on, each unique and each individual in their own way that I had never seen before, inside or fucking on any restaurant's patio before in my life. I never would have got that if my friend Mary didn't ask me to go outside for her that day. And I never would have paid attention to it if I was closed-minded and I was just trying to get in and out of every interaction as quickly as I could, because I never would have been enjoying the day out there on the patio with those gentlemen, having the conversation, being there for the moment and the exchange that took place. So that is just, that's how it's all tied together. All right, because it wasn't 24 hours later that the United States of America that was dropping bombs with Israel in Iran, starting another war, or what seemed to be a war real quickly, and now they're telling us the war is over. So are we now to believe that that's how things happen now in the United States of America? Presidents don't have to declare anything. They don't have to declare war. I guess they haven't done that since World War II. They just go off on these little skirmishes whenever they're able to seize enough power and or territory and or enough of the public opinion so that we don't revolt, so that they don't go too far, that we don't revolt. That's essentially what it is, because I got a Social Security number, and every day it's starting to feel a hell of a lot more like a slave number, because no one listens to anyone that doesn't want to go to war. And that's really interesting. It's really interesting how no one pays attention to anyone calling for peace. And that's what most people inside the United States of America are doing, whether they are citizens or whether they're not. The vast majority of people are calling for peace. And yet we are constantly entangled in these foreign conflicts that suck our resources and our energy out of this country and into other places that have no effect on the lives of the people inside the boundaries and the borders of the United States of America. That's how we end up with this craziness. These things inside people's mind, these beliefs of the way things have to be, the way things must play out, and they're so tied to them that when things don't go their way, a cognitive dissonance just explodes inside of their consciousness, and it sends them into a crazy tailspin. Because I cleaned up the piss for Lily on the patio that morning. There was no reason she couldn't put salt and peppers on the table. But that tailspin took her out of the work that she was doing for the morning. No longer could she possibly put out anything else on that patio because that tailspin had drug her down. Now she's got to sit inside and wash her hand and talk about it and tell everyone how disgusting that was. And then she's got to go do her makeup and change and make sure she looks clean. So just touching a little bit of piss throws her into a whole different reality that she is not in control of. She's reacting to. Things are happening to her, not through her. She is not manifesting the reality, that experience that she is about to have. She's allowing someone else to have it for her. These are the things that I'm trying to point out and teach as a trained observer. Something that I picked up just walking about in the streets as a semi-homeless server. All right? That's the way that these things go. That's how it's all tied together in the universe. Now, I had another experience that I know all of you can relate to. Is I went to the ghetto for jury duty, all right? And maybe all of you can't relate to this because most of you have been lucky enough to not have to do it. I am truly the luckiest man in the entire world. I don't know how it happens. I don't know how it works. I believe it's because I pull from the universal field of abundance around me, and I'm consciously thinking about it, and I'm consciously observing it. So the universe is working through me to present this amazing reality that I interact with. You may be asking yourself, how did you know that you were doing jury duty in the ghetto? I didn't. I didn't know exactly where Lynn Superior or whatever court was, but I found out when I drove through at 7:30 in the morning on I don't know whether it was a Monday or a Tuesday, and I see these Latin women in high heels with their tits out and their asses out as they are walking their kids to the bus for school. And so you know that I am in the ghetto, motherfucker, and I feel at home. This is going to be a great day. I am not going to get picked for jury duty, but I'm going to get the experience of what it's like and hopefully fulfill my duty until this podcast is big enough that they're never going to ask me to come and weigh in again. You can guarantee that's a day that's going to be coming very shortly, but I digress. As I make my way into Lynn's courthouse, I'm walking past, they give me directions to where the juror booth is. It's been a long time. It's been over a decade, so I want to go into this with fresh eyes. So as I'm coming in here, they send me down to this jury room, and they give me directions, and I walk down the stairs. I walk past the lockup and a bunch of police officers. I don't think that that's generally exactly where you want the pool of people who are going to weigh in on this person's innocence or guilt to linger and hang out. And that's exactly where we are. This was quickly pointed out to me by the very nice gentleman and woman, Joe and Josephina, who were there. I mean, just very nice individuals who happen to work for the government. And they have a job that they have to do. And I think they're fine people for doing that. I think they use their energy the best they can to try and make it as good of an experience for the jury pool as they possibly can. But they're not under much control, all right? They don't have much leeway in order to provide a better experience for you. There is no customer service. There is no quality control inside the United States government, and that they are quick to point out to us. I can only imagine that this gentleman's day starts off with the first 45 minutes of his day explaining to everyone that is inside in this room with no windows, under blue light, that UV radiation light that I know, because of the scientific experiments that I've looked at, is designed to make you go a little bit nuts. And we all sit in this room with tables and chairs, everyone on their cell phones staring at blue light that's also designed to make you go a little bit nuts. It's not like this room is filled with pictures of plants and nature and wooden fucking materials to make you feel comfortable. That's not the design of this place. This place is designed to make you go absolutely crazy. All right? So the first morning, this guy's day, he explains to you guys, here is what I have. Here's all the things that I can do for you. This is the worst location for a juror pool ever. So what I need to explain to you guys is if you're going to the bathroom, which you can do whenever you want, you're a free individual citizen, You can get up and go. It's on the second floor, as far away as possible. It's right outside the courtroom. You're going to see a bunch of lawyers strewn about. They may be talking to judges. They may be talking to clients. All of those people are potentially people you are going to be deciding the case of. So try your best to not look at, interact with, or be around them. Also, don't pay attention to anyone that's in a holding cell. Don't pay attention to any of those police officers you walked by. Don't pay attention to the armory, which is located right on the other side of this wall. When I'm telling you this is the worst location, it is absolutely the worst location for a juror pool. Now, I do have water to offer you. I have some water bottles here. These are Poland Springs. But if you are like me and it's down here in this heat, this hot room with no AC, which it happens to not be hot today, but let me tell you about July. Oh my God, we have no AC in this room. It gets so hot. They put one little fan right over there, and that's all we have. And we sit here and we sweat. So I like cold water. This is what the gentleman said to me. And they were lucky. We were lucky enough that they put in this cold water cooler, which is so nice because now we just have a little thing and we push the button down and it gives us cold water. It's so nice. They even sent us a thing for the cups that were attached to the side of the water cooler so that you guys can have some of this delicious cold water. Only, it's the United States government. You have to remember that. So we inquired about 3 weeks after they sent us the water cooler as to why we have the cup holder, but you didn't send us any cups. And about 6 weeks went by. And then they sent us a note to send them the cup holder back. And we were like, that's great. You're going to send us a different cup holder with different cups. And they were like, no. No cups. No cups. Then why'd you send us the cup holder in the first place? We didn't realize. We thought this was for management. We didn't realize it was going in the juror room, so no cups. And so the gentleman, I can just imagine what that's like every morning. You explain what your effort has been for the last 6 months. You try to just move the needle just a little bit for the control that you have over the domicile that you are stuck in every single day of your life at your job working for the government. And that's what happens to you. What does his boss say? The other guy outranks me, so this is just going to be one of those ones we have to forget about. That's what creates the cognitive dissonances in people's mind that makes them go crazy. They just have to forget about the fact that they were treated like they were nobody, right? They were treated like they were nobody. But he works here. He's probably been here for years. He's going to dedicate his life to this job, working in this damp, dark room that you put him down here so he can uphold this idea of democracy and law and order and all of these principles that we want our society to run on. And that's how you treat him. It's kind of crazy. It's almost like you're a hypocrite. You make his job as hard as possible, and in fact, you're getting in his way. So you really don't want law and order. And just as I suspected, because the next thing he did was he rolled out this television that they have to play, and the judge comes down, and he makes a few words, and he tells us a speech. It's all designed to make you feel real good, feel like you're a good person. You're doing the thing that you're supposed to do. You're a good citizen. You're a good communist. All right, this is brainwashing. They're going down there to make you feel like, I did something today. They have to instill that in you at the beginning. Because the next thing they're going to do is they're going to need to make you forget about whatever it is you're going to have to do while you're in there. But first, they make sure they hit you with the division. Only the issue is, as technology gets better and better, right, and we have access to more information, if you're going to try and pull one over on the populace, you need to work in coalition and tandem together. Otherwise, things get discombobulated and you aren't on the same page as someone else. So, like, when they're showing us this video that is supposed to instill in us this idea that being a juror or just coming here, even if we're not selected, is this crazy, amazing thing that we did for society. And they referenced the Magna Carta, right? Pretty crazy. We're going to go all the way back to, what was it, the 13th century? And we're going to look at, to that, the Magna Carta, as our ideal of upholding law and order. Okay, I mean, that's fine. If that's one you want to go with, let's go with it. But we probably shouldn't roll that out on this video in 2025 in the United States of America when we took away habeas corpus, which was encoded in the Magna Carta, something everybody had rights to in the 13th century, something nobody has rights to in the United States of America in 2025 under Barack Obama, which was 20 years ago. So why are you trying to program me with this Magna Carta stuff right before a jury selection when you were supposed to extract that from the programming? You were only supposed to give us the black and the white guy like the rest of the video played out to divide us. Give me a Latino in here, give me an Asian. You seem to have a pretty diverse video, okay, of people who just love coming to jury selections. But when I look around this room, everybody's pretty goddamn pissed off, all right? Everybody's pretty pissed off. And if it were up to me, you're all guilty right now. Put them all in jail or send them all home. I don't care. Whatever gets me out of here the fastest. That's what this room is designed to do. That's what it's there to do, all right? To be this facade. We need magic in the world, and we need your magic. If we're going to convince everybody to get on board with this culture that is really hypocritical if you don't look at it that closely, we need your magic. We need you to come to jury selections. We need you to participate in the trick so that you feel like, oh yeah, this was a fair trial. I believe that I saw all the evidence, except for the evidence the judge told me to forget, and we did this totally above board. I'm his peer, right? Right? I'm his peer. That's a 5-foot Latina man with no parents and tattoos all over his face. I'm his peer. I'm his equal. He's judged by his equals. Oh, that's right. We're talking about judgments. Wait, why don't you be the one judging, right, Mr. Judge? Right? Because the only thing I'm working on in my life is removing the judgment of other people. I can never be his peer. I don't know what his life is like. How the hell can I judge him? I say let him off, unless he's touched some children or killed anybody. All right? Then send him to jail. But, like, if he's not hurting anybody, all right, then let's just leave things alone. I'm very libertarian in that fashion. But I digress. It's just such a crazy experience. It's all part of a trick that is designed to lull you to sleep so that you don't do anything in your day-to-day life about it, so that you stop giving your magic away to these powers and these systems and these institutions that are just there to control you and pull one over on you and convince you to give them their magic so that they can have the power to oppress someone, maybe someone so far as the other side of the world, like Iran. All right? And don't think that I'm super sympathetic to the Iranian regime. All right? But I don't know much about them. All right? And I think they should be able to control themselves. Until we can control ourselves, maybe we should let them figure their stuff out. There's lots of things going on around the world, and we're not perfect. I don't know when we became the world police. But I know that everyone thinks we are and has for a long time. And until we encode ourselves with the consciousness that we're not and we stop participating in it, only then will the culture change. And then people will start to see in the current events, no, that's not the way that they do things anymore. Things have changed. Things have changed because the people have changed. The people have changed the culture. And the culture results in the current events. So it will take time. It will take time for these things to happen. But it all starts with our own individual consciousness, which you're able to control in every second of every day. That's why I'm out here doing this in the heat, because maybe it's just a little bit harder to podcast out here in the heat like this than everybody else. And I'm just going to be like maybe a little bit better than the rest of the podcasters. Maybe I'm able to think just a little bit clearer because I'm comfortable with a little bit more carbon dioxide inside my system. And that's something other people don't know about because they don't listen to Aaron Alexander and Robert Edward Grant. And they don't pay attention to those conversations. And they don't focus on the breath, all right, or the chemistry. And they don't laugh at themselves. They don't take everything so seriously. No one is getting out of this life alive. I don't know if you heard that. Not a one of us. But we all get to control our energy and how it's used in everyday life. In fact, I'm the only one that gets to control my energy and how it's used. And I get to control that because I'm at the seat of reality in my consciousness, and I get to control the experience that I'm having. And it might have been something that I had gotten up and I said, there's no way I'm going to do, and I'm so grateful I don't have to do that. And then the first thing I do when I get in there is I have to do that thing. Well, then I was just wrong about that day. Oops. Sorry, I'm grateful I get to do this then. All right, because this is the thing that I have to do. This is the thing that's here to teach me the lesson. This is the opportunity that I have today, that the universe has conspired to bring me, to teach me the lesson that I need, to give me the wisdom that I'm able to follow through my heart-mind coherence, that I listen to through my intuition. That's the consciousness that we're trying to bring you. That's the peace that you can have in your everyday life, because it's kind of crazy at some point when there's no one listening to me, but everyone's coming to me with the problems. And if they pause for a second to see, wait a minute, who's the healthiest person in my life? Who's the happiest person in my life? Are those two things that I value? Then maybe I should take some lessons from someone like that. I'm not perfect. All right? I think that we've covered that in the first 74 chapters of this. I've told you many stories, even today, about how I pissed on some guy's wall and how the universe made me clean it up about 20 years later. All right? This is all tied together, guys. It's all tied together, the past and the future, aligned in this moment now. E equals MC squared. The present is the only time that exists. So use it right now to relax and feel whatever it is you need to feel in this moment to get to the next one. And then the next one after that. And if you can make this moment perfect, that's reality. Can you believe that? That's how it works. If this moment right now is perfect, your life is perfect. That's how we do things here. Take back your consciousness. I love you. I'm out.